during such a chaotic time in history, now more than ever before, it's insanely important that all of the heart-centered, conscious leaders, founders, and people who have any sort of impact right now stand in their power. And with that power, we can all make true impact and shine a light in all of the dark places that we stumble upon, spreading powerful ripples of love. What could be more profound than that? So I was inspired as I was coming up with words to share with you all today. I was inspired to share a story, and a moment in time really struck me very clearly that I want to time travel with you into my past towards today. 2019, I was on an airplane. I was seated at a window seat. To my left was the view of the world. From the plane's point of view, I saw life, I saw love, I saw opportunity, I saw hope, I saw fear, chaos, families, traffic, clouds, the sun, and thoughts of our planet, our overall busyness with our most prominent life circumstances, and how zooming out helped me see beyond my current struggles crossed my mind. I look to my right, and there's a very quiet gentleman who's maybe in his mid-30s. He's reading a very impactful series of books, seemingly relevant to a project management role he was working towards. I felt this really strong internal tug to look a little deeper at what he was reading, so I did. The book that he was most enthralled with was titled The Theory of Constraints. I was then curious to understand this concept. At this time, I was working for a startup. I was regularly flying to Atlanta, Georgia, and I felt my entire life was in transition. So naturally, I was on the prowl for a better version of me, a better everything for myself, my daughter, my loved ones, and for anyone willing to listen to my learnings along the way. I was technically running a marathon towards growth, expansion, mentally and compassionately. I was so busy with this project for myself that I took so seriously that I took this random happenstance of this book title as a sign towards my growth journey. Every detail mattered. I knew so much more than I had previously due to basically immersing myself into environments and self-chosen education along the way. I always stretched my limits by choice, almost daily at this point. And I felt like I knew everything I needed to know at the time. Once I had the immediate opportunity to research this concept deeper, I did. So let me read to you guys what the theory of constraints means. It states that in any complex system, there's always at least one limiting factor, one constraint that hinders the system's overall performance. And efforts should be concentrated on improving or completely eliminating that constraint to optimize the entire system. So I read this, I learned this, and my thoughts were, we're only as strong as our weakest link. Now, this link, when you think of that, you think of a person, you think of a thing. And truly, oftentimes, it's our own viewpoints, it's our own beliefs, it's our own behaviors, it's our own vantage point on life that's limiting us. I was so deep into this idea of growth. I was envisioning ways of how I could impact the world for the greater good and give back everything that I had learned. My act of service, right? I was very passionate about this at the time. And I was doing this through my poetry. I knew I was going to be a poet and that my poetry would be empowering the masses to help people see beyond their fears, beyond their own self-perceived limitations. I was so sure that I met with a local business owner of a very aligned yoga studio that had a similar mission. And I remember vividly telling the owner of this said yoga studio my plans for hosting this huge outdoor event that revolves around holistic healing. And I invited her to lead her yoga piece and add that to the puzzle of this event that I still am going to create. And she asked me, she smiled and she asked me what I ultimately wanted to do and what my big picture goals were. And my response was, I want to write my poetry book and help other people through my poetry. And she smiled again. She looked up at me and she said, you can't see it yet, but I'm certain you'll be doing much more than that in the near future. I was amused by her confidence, right? And I didn't really quite understand what she meant, but I appreciated the sentiment. I didn't know what I didn't know. There's this concept called the Johari window. It's designed to help people better understand their relationship with themselves. And it was created by the psychologist Joseph Luft and Harrington Income. I don't know if I butchered the name, but nonetheless, it includes known knowns, known unknowns. We have the unknown knowns, and then the unknown unknowns. We're going to talk about the unknown unknowns briefly right now. They're basically elements or factors that exist outside of our current understanding, right? So you don't know that you don't know it. And they're not anticipated or considered. It's a term that's often used to describe basically unexpected challenges, risks, or opportunities that come to light as we encounter them. And as entrepreneurs and founders and leaders, we're always aiming towards something. Our eye is on the prize. And oftentimes we don't know what's going to happen along the way. We're only as strong as our weakest link. Okay. So the reason why this is so important is we need to acknowledge our limitations. We need to understand the importance of remaining open-minded and adaptable by recognizing the existence of the unknowns. And once we do that, we can better prepare for the unexpected. We can navigate uncertainties, and we can foster a mindset of continuous learning and improvement. You'll have more information at your disposal if you allow for that to take smarter action. So fast forward to today. I now host weekly bite-sized masterminds at my Level Up Club for this exact purpose, to strengthen heart-centered conscious founders' weakest links, to shine a light on all of the things that we don't know, to join arms so we can truly make an impact and we can also support one another along the way. And right now I'm standing fully in my purpose. If you would have asked me in 2019 what I would be doing this year, I didn't know what I didn't know. It's ironic, right? You don't know until you're there. So currently I coach heart-centered founders. I'm very passionate about helping people see beyond the things that they can't comprehend So they're limited by their current beliefs, by any kind of blocks they have. I empower people with tools to really stand fully in their power. Again, during such a chaotic time in history, we can make the most impact when we are moving with our hearts, with integrity, and leading by example more than anything to spread those positive ripples right now. If I would have known what I know today, I would have probably spent more time doing the things that mattered most. I probably would have hired a coach sooner. I probably would have immersed myself in different environments sooner that I didn't understand or fully comprehend yet, right? And every single successful business founder that I know has a ton of support around them, whether it be masterminds or communities or coaches, mentors, guides. I definitely would have hired a coach much sooner. And that would have allowed me to make even more of an impact much sooner so that I could stand fully in my purpose and really spread those ripples of love. So I just wanted to share this with you guys today from my own personal story and experience. We each have our own unique story. We each have our own unique purpose. We are all a genius in our own way, right? And if we could all join arms and combine together, that'll make us that much stronger. Any of this resonates with you, I would love to connect with you. You feel free to check out my website. It's thesubconsciousmuse.com. And I challenge you to completely immerse yourself into environments that are truly going to empower you right now to be the best version of yourself and the version of you that you need to be in order to accomplish your goals and to create the life that you dream of. Embrace the unknown, knowing it'll pull you through growth and innovation and get you where your heart desires. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you so much, Lauren. This